I don't believe that officers need to necessarily have weapons, every time they're making a traffic stop.
This is the stupidity and the so-called leadership in Minnesota. Mike Elliott, mayor, this is his response. I'm going to be honest, man. The police officer, she's being charged, I believe, second-degree manslaughter. But in all honesty, man, if you can't tell the difference between a taser and a handgun, I don't think you should be a police officer. I'll just say that right out the gate. But this kind of rhetoric is 100% irresponsible. To say that police officers don't need weapons at routine traffic stops? There are so many videos. Police officers in the academy, they get trained, they get shown these kinds of videos of not to trust people on routine traffic stops because there are psychos that are criminals. Like Mr. Wright, Daunte Wright, might I add, had a literal warrant out for his arrest. This guy was a criminal. He was not a good guy. He was not a saint. He was not a little angel, as the mainstream media is trying to portray him to be. He is absolutely further from the truth. That is the furthest from the truth, 100%. The actual truth is this guy is not some kind of innocent victim. But to say, a mayor, that police officers do not need weapons to protect themselves is absolutely ridiculous. And there's a reason. This is the agenda, okay? They're saying this and they know why they're saying that. But before we begin, guys, welcome to Drew Hernandez Live. My name is Drew Hernandez, hopefully one of your favorite podcast hosts here on YouTube. I hope you guys enjoy this show. But before we get into this, you guys, please do me a huge favor. If you're watching this for the first time, or if you just haven't done it by now, I don't know, you actually have to check up every now and then because YouTube will start to delete or unsubscribe some people that have subscribed to this channel. YouTube is sketch, shady, and unpredictable. So always make sure to check in and see that if you are still subscribed to this channel. So subscribe to the channel below, hit that bell notification, and YouTube also does attempt to finesse people by putting them on an option when they hit the bell notification that only gives you occasional notification. So if you're wondering why you don't get notified whenever your favorite YouTuber posts something, that could probably maybe be the reason why. So when you hit the bell notification, toggle on the all selection. Guys, that does a huge favor for me. And also share this video far and wide wherever you could share a link on your Gab, your Parler, your Twitter, your Facebook, your iMessage, your text message. Send it to your grandma, send it to your grandpa, send it to somebody that needs to hear this. Wherever you could post a link, guys, they cannot stop you from posting the links. DH Alliance, shout out to every single one of you guys. I need you guys on every single show to share the links and also smash that like button, destroy that like button. I know it sounds really dumb and petty. It's like, do you really just care about how many likes you get? I honestly don't care. But it does help the algorithm. That is why we asked you guys to please destroy that like button. It helps the videos go out. It actually helps with your algorithm so you can continue to see these videos because it tells YouTube that you want to keep seeing this. So please smash the like button. Let's get to 500 likes on this show. DH Alliance, shout out to every single one of you, every single member that is supporting me as a member on this channel and on Patreon. Salute to every single one of you guys up in the chat. Make sure to welcome any newcomers that are watching the show tonight. But also, guys, I'm 100% independent. For those of you that don't know who I am, I don't have Fox or CNN or some kind of gigantic multi-million-dollar budget to help me fly to locations, to book my hotels, to feed me when I'm out traveling, to do this when I'm combating the mainstream narrative, guys. I am all 100 on my own. I am funded by the people, we the people, that is you the people. So if you would like to support me, consider joining the DH Alliance today and coming alongside of me financially and supporting me monthly in the membership section on this channel. Or you can give a one-time donation on my website. The link is in the description below on PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, all that good stuff. Or drop a super chat. I like to do super chats at the end of every single show. That is another way you can support me in what I am doing. We get to the Q&A format at the end of every single show. So if you drop a super chat now, in the middle of the show, at the end of the show, you like something I say, you want to come alongside of me, we have a bunch of trips coming up. Minneapolis, Minnesota, we have border trips coming up, Tucson, back to Yuma, also Southern Texas. There's so much going on the next coming months. And guys, I'm just one guy, man. So I need you guys, DH Alliance, to support me as much as you can. I truly do appreciate it, guys. And we will get to those super chats at the end of the show. This is the way, America. If you want to do something, support someone that is actually doing something. If you yourself cannot put your feet to the ground, then send someone out who is on the ground. So I appreciate all of the support, you guys. This is definitely a place in American history where we do have to take these things seriously. So I appreciate every single one of you that support me on a nightly, on a weekly, monthly basis. So here we go. So civil unrest is continuing in Minnesota, Minneapolis. This is continuing in the United States of America after the Biden administration was claiming to be the unifying administration that would bring left and right together. He doesn't see red or blue. He doesn't see Republican or Democrat. His famous speech on Inauguration Day when he was condemning the scary former Trump administration while claiming to be not that unifying as an administration when clearly they are. They also claim to be 100% transparent, which they 100% absolutely are not. That is the furthest from the truth. This administration is literally everything the opposite of what they claimed that they were going to be and what they were going to do. And we are only 2.5 months in, and I think people are seeing by now that everything, especially Biden voters that thought simply, listen, I know some people are like, oh my goodness, were people really believing this kind of stuff? Did people really vote like this? Yes, there were literally people that only voted against Trump because they thought that all of this craziness and anarchy would somehow go away. Somehow they've been convinced to believe that the reason why we had so much civil unrest and riots and anarchy across the United States of America was because of the man by the name of Donald J. Trump, which was the 45th president of the United States of America. And a lot of left, literally just lemmings on the left that just get fed their news, whether it's through Facebook or Twitter, and they don't vet anything, they don't filter anything, and the mainstream media just pushes the narrative through. If you're somebody that is not in tune with what is going on in the media and what is going on in the United States of America. Okay? If you're not in tune and you're being force-fed narratives, you're going to believe whatever the mainstream media tells you. So we do have millions of people that simply voted against Donald Trump because they thought that all of the rioting, they thought that all the anarchy, they thought that all of the instability would just go away, right? People believe this stuff, so they vote that way. They just want this stuff to just float away and magically disappear because Orange Man is bad, so Orange Man has got to go, okay? People literally voted like this in the 2020 election, so now I think we have people that are experiencing voter remorse because it is very abundantly clear that the instability and the division and the rioting and the anarchy, I'm not even talking about the border right now. We're talking about the civil, literal unrest of rioting in the United States of America that has continued even after the Trump era. And the border crisis is the worst that it's been in 20 years. So the facts that I'm giving you right now are facts that are in the context, in the confines of the Biden administration. So I just want to set this episode up with that, because we have a lot of woke Wookiees out there that have not literally woken up to a reality. They claim to be woke, but they're not awake. They're actually still asleep, and they're numb to the reality that Donald Trump is not even president any longer, and these things are continuing, and they're getting worse under Joe Biden. So sorry, Biden voters, every single one of you guys out there that voted against Donald Trump because you thought that these things would go away simply by doing so, you were played, and you should have voted correctly, because now these things are getting even worse under Biden. Just like I told you, I've been covering these riots all 2020, and I will continue through 2021, and as long as they last, because the mainstream media will attempt to cover them. And what I have to say to every single one of you Biden voters right now is this: you were played. This stuff ain't going away anytime soon. And the narrative is getting even worse. The defund the police message is getting worse. Okay? They want to gut the police. They want to defund the police because they want to not remove the police. Don't get it twisted. Black Lives Matter, these communists, these radical globalists, they don't want to remove the police. They want to get rid of the good guys. They want to demoralize them so they can replace them with evil people that have no conscience, that can do their evil, dirty deeds. That is how regimes work. That is how communist, authoritarian, global elite regimes work. They get rid of the good guys that have a conscience, and they replace them, and they install the bad guys that will do their dirty work. That is exactly what they will do, and that is exactly what they have done, and that is exactly what they are attempting to do in the United States of America in 2021 right now. And if you can identify this like I can identify this, then drop a 1 in the comment section below and smash that like button and get your super chats ready if you agree with me and want to support me as well at the end of this show. Drop it now, in the middle, or at the end. We will get to it. I love every single one of you guys. So I'm going to play you this video. I like to give you guys a big mouthful of context, because you don't get that with the mainstream media, all right? So the reason why I do this, because people are always like, oh, my goodness, get with it. The show's too long. Oh, my goodness. Oh, people complaining all the time. The show's way too long. Just give us like a minute clip. And then people complain about living in an era of fake news where everything's just 1 minute TikTok clips, and that's your news. We have to give people context. We have to break down situations. We have to intellectually analyze things, because if we don't, we end up in an era of fake news where everything is chopped up and you don't get the full story. So you're watching a podcaster, you're watching a host that believes in context and getting the story out immediately and accurately, regardless if it's in 30 seconds or regardless if it's in 30 minutes to an hour. This is where we are. They want you to just live in this era where it's the microwave age, the Uber age, where everything is immediately brought to you like this. When stuff like that begins to happen, I don't know about you, but anytime you go to a fast food restaurant, anytime anything is expedited, they're pushing, you start to make some serious mistakes. And when we're talking about news, we're talking about stories, we're talking about some serious issues in the United States of America, we have to dedicate time and context and effort to comb through these things and get the story out correctly. That's what I believe in as a literal public figure in the media right now to date. So I'm going to play you guys this video. This is the mayor in Minnesota, Mike Elliott. The guy's a freaking zinger, man. Literally, post what took place with Daunte Wright being shot by a police officer who mistaken her taser for a handgun. A couple days after, this was his response. Literally saying that police officers do not need weapons at routine traffic stops. This is absurd, okay? I know it sounds shocking coming out of my mouth. This isn't some right-wing conservative talking point. This is the stupidity that's coming out of these leaders that people are voting for. It's ridiculous. Take a look.
I don't believe that officers need to necessarily have weapons, every time they're making a traffic stop, or engaged in situations that don't necessarily call for weapons. We know that there are many other jurisdictions, or even around the world, where that is not, necessarily the case. It's not needed.
It's not needed. Okay? That is not justice. Okay? You do not achieve justice with more lawlessness. That is not the answer. But right now we live in an age where up is down and down is up. Okay? We live in an age where criminal activity is now being legalized and righteousness is now being criminalized. Okay, so this is the reason why they are doing this, because now we have elected officials and we have elected leaders, mayors like this freaking bright light in Minnesota of a mayor, literally thinking the answer, okay, to what took place a couple days ago is to disarm police officers. Listen, I am all for police reform. 100%. I think it's important because everything needs to be reformed, because reformation does what? It makes people better. It exposes the flaws and shows us what needs to change. But right now, the answer is not more lawlessness. That is just totally ridiculous. It's irresponsible. It's stupid. It's going to get more people killed, but this is what they want. This is literally what they want. Let me get this up. If you guys want to get this up, thank you. Breitbart reported on this. Minnesota mayor, police do not necessarily need weapons during traffic stops. This is the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life, at least one of them. It kind of almost tops Nancy Pelosi. Brooklyn Center Mayor Mike Elliott told reporters Tuesday that he does not believe officers need to have weapons during every traffic stop. His comments follow the shooting death of Daunte Wright on Sunday. There's the video I just showed you. Elliott's comments came shortly after he assumed command and control of the Brooklyn Center Police Department following the shooting of Wright by 26-year-old veteran officer Kimberly Potter during a traffic stop. Body cam video released by the city shows Potter holding her service pistol while threatening to tase Wright as he resisted arrest and attempted to flee, which I think is stupid, by the way. I don't understand how you can be a veteran officer and not be able to tell the difference between your taser and your pistol. If that's the type of human being you are, you have no business being a police officer, which is why I say I'm all for reforming the police, not for defunding the police. Because when you reform the police, you're going to weed out morons like this that can't tell the difference between a taser and a pistol. Just saying. The Brooklyn Center mayor's assertion that police do not need to necessarily have weapons for every traffic stop comes the same week as the release of footage from the New Mexico State Police, illustrating how quickly a routine traffic stop can turn fatal for an officer. I can't play this video, obviously, because of YouTube's community guidelines, and I don't want to get demonetized on this channel, but this is a man with a rifle at a routine traffic stop that got pulled over, and this police officer was fatally shot because this man decided to be psychotic, unpredictable, at a routine traffic stop. This is just one of hundreds of videos of nightmare scenarios where police officers, they perform routine traffic stops. Everything seems fine, but the individual that gets pulled over has some kind of criminal record, something they're running away from, or they're mentally ill or just insane, and they pull out a gun and they fatally shoot and murder a police officer that was just simply doing their job, not racially profiling, not committing any kind of illegal activity, just simply upholding the law. The article goes on to say, in seconds, Officer Darian Gerrott dying alongside Interstate 10 after he stopped Omar Felix Cueva on a routine traffic violation, Breitbart, Texas, reported in February. Mayor Elliott said the lack of necessarily needing to be armed would apply in other situations as well. While he did not mention domestic violence calls specifically, these calls are also a situation where a routine call can turn deadly for officers. Deadly for officers. In April 2020, a San Marcos, Texas police officer died and 2 others were wounded while responding to a domestic violence call, Breitbart reported. San Marcos interim police chief Bob Klett told reporters that an alleged domestic violence suspect opened fire with a rifle on officers as they entered the apartment. Here's another one. An Indianapolis police officer also lost his life while responding to a domestic violence call that same month. In July 2022, McAllen, Texas police officers died as they responded to yet another domestic violence call. Another domestic violence call. Let's take this down. So number one, listen, this is I know it's like, listen, we're beating a dead horse here. We know that this is irresponsible. We know that this is evil. We know that this is lawlessness, and we know that this is ridiculous. What this kind of rhetoric does is it gets more people killed. It's going to make more people not want to become police officers because police officers have the right to protect themselves because they have one of the most dangerous jobs on the face of planet Earth, literally on an hourly basis. I don't know what it's like to live like that, but I know that it could be very stressful and a lot of anxiety because a lot of my contacts that I speak with in different various cities that are police officers, their families, the stories they tell me, even one of my own family members was a police officer for decades, and it's not a very easy life to live. And the point I'm trying to make right now is this, because, all the radical left Wookiees are out there. Oh, Drew, you're just such a bootlicker. You're just a bootlicker. No, I have a very balanced view on the police. But I support the good blue. I back the good guys because sometimes the blue can be the bad guys. I don't support those guys. I don't support the bad guys. This is why I don't 100% of the time always back the blue because sometimes the blue can be corrupt. So I only back the good blue. I only back the good guys. So I'm just saying this to take a shot at all the woke Wookiees out there that are calling me a bootlicker. I have a pretty balanced view on the police because when you end up in a police state, who the hell do you think enforces it? Look at Canada. That's building cages around churches, keeping pastors out, treating them like criminals, and not letting them express their freedom of religion. It's police officers that are doing that because they're in a police state. So I just want to put that out there, okay? So I'm going to speak on behalf of good cops. I have good cops that message me that I'm in contact with in Portland, in different cities throughout the United States of America. And these men and these women and their families go through hell. It is not right to blame the entire police force across the United States of America with this broad message of defunding the police, because what it does is it increases their enemies and their chances of getting killed in the field. Because when mayors are coming out and demonizing the police, you're demonizing the good guys. I don't care if you demonize the bad guys. Crooked cops deserve to be thrown in prison. Get them the hell out of there. This is why I'm all for reform, but the good guys don't deserve this. The good women don't deserve this. Those that wear that badge, those that have that honor to put on that uniform and wear that badge every single day, that are putting their lives on the line for this country, for your safety, to protect and to serve, that legitimately do that. The good guys I speak for tonight, they don't deserve this. You're going to increase. This mayor is increasing their chances of some kind of criminal out there to literally get the idea in their mind that, hey, The mayor is saying that cops are going to be disarmed. Who the hell do you think benefits from that? Bad guys. That's who. So you in the community out there, all right, I'm speaking to wherever you may be, especially in a big blue city. If cops are being disarmed, you better go buy a gun. I'll tell you that right now. You should go exercise your Second Amendment anyways. Regardless, shouldn't always depend on the police because it takes them time to get to your house. But now even more so, because if you're just some liberal and you're like, oh, well, I'll just hit 911 if something bad happens. No, you're not even going to have that anymore at some point. Because what they're trying to do is this. Number one, it's irresponsible, okay? This mayor with this kind of rhetoric is going to get more good cops killed. Even black cops, all right? Even black cops. Even brown cops, not just white cops, that's even increased. But this is going to increase the chances of cops getting murdered in the field because mayors like this spew rhetoric like this. You're sending a message to criminals that it is now time to commit criminal activity in these communities because cops are going to be disarmed. So now, who do you think is going to arm themselves? You think the bad guys in these cities are going to be like, oh, we'll just play fair. We won't use guns. Are you out of your damn mind? This is how lawlessness works. You now have mayors in big blue cities, big blue states that are working alongside criminals, that are literally giving them passes. Criminal activity is now being normalized and legalized in the United States of America for a reason. It's for destabilization of the United States of America. That is where we are heading. That is the Black Lives Matter Marxist communist agenda. That is the globalist elites agenda. That is what they want for the United States of America. And it's for what? To be destabilized so they can bring us all to our knees and have us bow down to the regime to come because that is where they want us to be. Desperate, begging them for help, begging them for food, begging them for a paycheck, begging them for protection, begging them for sustenance, begging them to live. That is what they want. And if you guys understand that as well, drop a 1 in the comment section because we can no longer live like this. They want us on our knees. They want us to be begging a regime. They want us to be literally living in a police state. They want to remove the good guys and install the bad guys. That is exactly what they want to do. And another point I'll make. Daunte Wright is not a victim. Daunte Wright is a criminal. Yeah, is that offensive? All you woke Wookiees on the left that are out there burning down buildings, looting buildings. You guys don't care about Daunte Wright. You just want an excuse to go freaking mob Foot Locker and get some new kicks, son. Be honest with yourself. You know exactly what you're doing. You don't care about these people. Black Lives Matter needs more black people getting shot because it puts billions of dollars into their bank accounts. That is their brand, okay? That is their grift. That is their hustle. They don't care about these black people. All they care about is the money these black people can make them. They're using their own people as a commodity to make billions of dollars. Daunte Wright was a criminal on the run. Warrant out for his arrest. Warrant out for his arrest. He fled from the police. He attempted to get back into his car when he was being arrested justly. He deserved to be arrested. He was not arrested because he was black. Fact. Daunte Wright was arrested because he had a warrant out for his arrest, you moron. Wookiees on the left out there. All of these retards that are literally just completely, all these woke-tards that are costing millions, billions of dollars of damage across the United States of America. They're rioting in Sacramento. They're rioting in Seattle. They're rioting in Portland. They're rioting in New York. They're rioting now, obviously in Minneapolis, costing billions in damage. Stupid thinking. He was not shot because he was black. He was shot because he was a criminal. That arrest was justified. And there they are, rioting, causing billions of dollars of damage across the United States of America, preaching Black Lives Matter, no justice, no peace, no justice, no peace. And what do? What does that mean? It means burn down the buildings, burn down the buildings, loot, loot, loot. Why? Oh, because Daunte Wright was shot because he was black. No, he was not. It's a lie. It's a grift. That's exactly what this is. And all it does is it pumps up the Black Lives Matter brand. That's all it does for Black Lives Matter. It only gets worse. It puts people in danger. It doesn't do any kind of service to the United States of America. Same thing with George Floyd, man. Same thing with George Floyd. I got to come out and say this, man. George Floyd was a drug addict, dude. The guy was not a saint. All right? The guy was wrestling with the cops well before Chauvin put his knee on the neck. Whatever your opinion is on that, okay? The guy was literally on fentanyl. The guy was on drugs, out of his mind, foaming at the mouth. George Floyd was asked to be put on the ground. George Floyd, fact. Listen, let's say some facts. You guys ready for this? Fact. George Floyd was... Before I say this, okay, I got to stop myself. Before I say this, the reason why I'm saying this, it's not because I want to intentionally be disrespectful. It's because we are going up against a narrative that has literally poisoned the minds of millions of people and is now justifying attempted murder and justifying causing billions of dollars of riot damage and justifying looting and burning down of buildings. Okay, so before I say these things, I want you to know that. I'm not trying to just be, electric and offensive just for the purpose of being offensive. I'm saying this because we are going up against some narratives that have caused some serious issues in this country. So number one, fact. George Floyd was on fentanyl. He was on drugs. He was not all there in the head when the cops showed up. Number two, George Floyd was being told by a black man to stop resisting that was watching the entire thing unfold and was telling him, you can't win. You can't win. Stop. Number three, George Floyd asked the police officers to put him on the ground. Number four, George Floyd said, I can't breathe before he was even on the ground. Period. That's a fact. And we're going to see how this trial concludes according to the law. And be ready for fireworks, because Black Lives Matter does not care about the facts. Black Lives Matter does not care about the truth. Black Lives Matter does not care about what the actual truth is about this situation. All Black Lives Matter cares about is literally making a name for themselves. And the way that they do that is they burn, they loot, and they murder. David Dorn. Say his name. Literally. You know what time it is. But this is only getting worse. And it's not getting any better. It's only getting worse. And it's not getting any better. And the Biden administration, they give lip service. Joe Biden says to the press, under no circumstances is rioting or is violence justified. They're not doing anything. Biden is not going to do anything. Because they hate Biden too. I've been saying this since last year. Biden wins. This stuff is not going anywhere. Anytime I've been to an Antifa gathering undercover with Black Lives Matter, Antifa, it's always this. They hate Joe Biden. I was trying to tell people this, especially people that were voting for Biden just to get rid of Trump, thinking this would all go away. I was trying to tell people that this stuff is not going away anytime soon. The problem with an Antifa and Black Lives Matter mind, the actual radical anarchists and the actual radical communists, their issue is not Trump. Their issue is not Biden. Their issue is not Republican. Their issue is not Democrat. Their issue is the United States of America and anything that falls under the umbrella. That is their ideology. They don't care if you're a Republican. They don't care if you're a Democrat. All they care about is watching the American system burn and die to be replaced with their stupid fantasies of utopia in the United States of America. You don't believe me? You think that police officers are safe with this kind of rhetoric? I'm talking about the good guys. All right? I'm talking about the good guys. Bad cops, get the hell out of the force. Crooked cops, get the hell out of the force. Any cop that is literally doing a disservice and betraying that badge needs to resign immediately. I am all for police reform, 100%. I will support any officer that will support his First Amendment. Listen, I will support any police officer that supports his oath that he took to the United States Constitution, to the American people. I will support that. I do not support the bad blue. I do not support the corrupt blue. I don't support them. I condemn them. This is why I believe we need police reform. There are certain things that do continue to happen. Someone that cannot literally identify the difference between a taser and a pistol should not be a police officer. Straight up. Straight up. I'll be the first one to come out and say, dude, what? How did that person get hired? The hell? This is not an average job. If anything, education should be higher for police officers. Training requirements should be higher. Health requirements should be higher. Their abilities, their agility, the types of things that the standards are really low for police officers. I think they should be higher, way higher. Because what that's going to do is it's going to weed out the people that shouldn't be there. It's going to weed out the ones that should not be there. Obviously, integrity should be there. But what I am saying right now is I do support police reform. I do support police reform because it's only going to make them better. It's only going to make them better. Defunding the police is not the answer. Disarming the police is not the answer. We all know that. And I'll explain why they're doing this. But to continue, let's get this up. More attacks on police officers. This is an attack on the good guys too. This is an attack on the good guys too. Officers that watch this show from Portland, their families, their wives, their children. You guys know I love you guys, man. You guys know that I'm not anti-police. You guys know my views. You know I support you. I love you. And I know how hard it is for you. That's why I draw a line in the sand. I support you guys. I support the good guys. I don't support the bad guys. That's in anything. Anything in life. Education, teachers, Hollywood, anything. I support the good guys. I want to be on the light side of the force, not the dark side of the force. That's just life. Don't get offended. A lot of conservatives, they never thought about that before. Like, oh, should we back the blue when they're corrupt? No, you shouldn't. But does that mean that all the blue is corrupt? No, you have to have a very balanced view in life. Don't just be like this robot that just follows talking points and that's it. It's on the right too. And I think it's kind of a very faulty way to think. But anyways, rioters in Portland burned police union building after shooting of Daunte Wright in Minnesota. There's a clip of the police union building in Portland. ACAB is all, this is a slogan from Antifa. It means all cops are bastards. That's what that means, okay? There's Daunte Wright. His name is written right on the building, and they set it ablaze. Antifa rioters in Portland, Oregon set fire to the police union building during a pre-announced direct action. They call them direct actions. What that means is it's time to riot and attempt murder by burning down buildings with people inside of them. For those of you that are not familiar with Portland, this is a nightly thing, man. Despite the advance notice and the history of attacks on the facility, Portland Police Bureau officers were unable to stop the behavior. The reason why, okay? Don't blame the cops, all right? Especially, I know my buddies that work in Portland, they tell me, get it right, get it right, get it right. Okay, the reason why this happens is because their hands are tied. Mayor Ted Wheeler has power to instruct them and to tie their hands behind their backs. They're not allowed to use the training that they've received in order to combat rioting. So they basically are just told to toy with the freaking rioters all night long. And it's coming from the top down. This is what I want you guys to get from this episode. Just like the mayor, this is a common thread. Just like the mayor in Minnesota, top down, disarm the cops. Mayor Ted Wheeler in Portland, top down, don't use your riot training. They tie their hands behind their back. And I'm going to explain to you why. Okay, there's a reason why. And I'm going to explain it to you at the end of this episode. So don't leave. You're not going to want to miss this. So you can share this with your friends. Police, Portland, the PPB, officials pleaded in advance with Antifa regarding a pre-announced direct action plan, which is ridiculous and pathetic, but it's because top-down leadership is literally neutering them, to attack the area surrounding the Portland Police Association office in the Kenton neighborhood. The PPB statement reads, called Direct Action event this evening at Kenton Park with a 9 p.m. march. Such events have historically included wanton destruction of public and private property, violence, and the active threat of harm by thrown or propelled objects, fire and impact weapons. Similarly, advertised events promoted and then engaged in arson and riots. That is a 100% true statement. The event advertised tonight may take place in or near the Kenton neighborhood. In the past, violent crowds have targeted the Portland Police Association office and employees with arson and other violent acts in the neighborhood. Violent crowds have also targeted North Precinct, includes attempts to burn it down. At about 10 p.m., rioters arrived, and nearly immediately started a fire near the rear of the police building. Here are some tweets. I can't play these videos because of YouTube's community guidelines. They classify it as violence, and I can get demonetized on this channel, unfortunately. A few minutes later, police report people using accelerants on a door to set fire to the police union headquarters. There's the tweet. The rioters painted the name Daunte Wright on the building, and they sent the doorway on fire. A video tweeted by independent journalist Sergio Olmos shows a Brooklyn Center, Minnesota police officer shot and killed Wright as he attempted to resist arrest and flee during a traffic stop on Sunday. So here are some shots of the fire that took place. This is a police union building. Clear attack on police officers. A neighbor attempted to put out the fire with a garden hose. Lack of water pressure and intense heat from the flames prevented the neighbor's attempt at firefighting from being successful. Eventually, it was put out. More photos tweeted by the PPB. The fire department ended up coming. The building's completely charred right there in the front. Thankfully, the entire building wasn't burnt down. PPB officials estimated that about 200 people participated in the pre-announced direct action despite the advance notice. Police seemed unwilling or unable to stop the rioters from setting fire. Now, there it is. You guys listening to this? Police seemed unwilling. They have their hands tied because of leadership from the top down. The mayor doesn't let them do anything because Antifa is allowed to do this stuff, because the way that politics works in Portland is they're just expressing their voices. Police seemed unwilling or unable to stop the rioters from setting fire to the police association building. Police officers made only a single arrest, and that was it. There it is, a crowbar, some kind of agents, lighters. They have weapons. Here's one of the people involved. They just burned down buildings. Let's take this down. So I'm pretty sure you guys are asking yourselves, why? Why are the mayors doing this? Why does Ted Wheeler tie police officers' hands behind their backs? Doesn't let them use the riot training that they have received to effectively put an end to these things? Why does Mike Elliott in Minnesota advocate on live TV to disarm police officers from having weapons at routine traffic stops? Why? What is the purpose of this? Why would they want to defund the police? Number one, they want to destabilize the United States of America. But what's the next step? Once we're destabilized, we have a crisis. Once we're destabilized, we have a crisis. But before we can get to the crisis, they have to bring the regime in. This is historical. This is what communist regimes have done. This is what the Nazis did. This is what authoritarian regimes have done anywhere you look in history across the world. What they want to do to these police officers, and I know police officers are listening to me right now, and what I'm about to tell you is going to literally connect with how you feel. You have good guys. You have good women that have literally picked up that badge and wake up every day and put it on, risking their lives every single day as a sacrifice to serve and to protect. The good guys are out there. What these people want, these BLM supporters, these Antifa sympathizers, these people that support, that are elected officials, these mayors, what they do is they support these ideologies because what it leads to, the end game, they don't want to get rid of police. Don't think that for 1 second. There's no purpose in having total anarchy. Yet, they need to get rid of the good guys. They want to get rid of the good women because the good guys still have a conscience. The good guys are still feeling it. It tears you up inside. It's so neutering. It's demoralizing you. It's the equivalent of you taking your badge yourself, throwing it on the floor, and lighting it on fire for all the world to see and putting it on TikTok. I know this because I speak to police officers, and this is how they feel on a daily basis, just neutering their integrity and their honor. But that is by design. They want to get rid of you because you still have a conscience. Did you know that Lenin and Stalin, when they installed their new regimes, did you know that they actually recruited felons, rapists, pedophiles, murderers, serial killers? They got rid of the old regime, all the good guys that would say something against their evil activity, and they installed them with the bad guys. Why? Because you need evil people in order to execute evil orders. You need evil people in order to execute evil orders. So what's taking place in the United States of America is this systematic, the defund the police message that's coming through BLM and Antifa. It's a systematic attempt to demoralize, dehumanize, and to completely remove the good guys out of police departments. The reason why is because they want to install the bad guys, or they want you to just shut up and become a bad guy, keep your mouth shut, and follow and obey the regime and their commands at all costs. Because once they have that installed, then they lead us into a crisis. And then they have control. That is what they want. That is what they're doing to these police officers. They want to demonize them. They want to disarm them. They want to demoralize them. They want you to quit. They want you out. Because once they got the good guys out, the bad guys come in, or the bad guys stay, and they become the majority. This is why I say we need police reform. We need reform in all walks of life. Our politics need reform. My heart needs reform. Everything in life needs reform. There's nothing wrong with reform and finding the flaws in things so we can build it up and make it better. But right now, what I just explained to you is the defund the police agenda. That is what they are doing. That is their goal. That is exactly what they want to accomplish. If you guys agree with that, drop a 1 in the comment section below and get your super chats ready, because now we are going to head into the super chat segment of our show tonight. Like I said before, guys, I want to thank you guys for tuning in tonight. If you guys are not going to stay for our Q&A super chats, please do not leave without subscribing. YouTube doesn't want you to subscribe to this channel. They want you to be lazy and complacent. So please subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button. Let's get to 500 likes on this show. I need you guys, man. I need the DH Alliance. I truly, truly do need your support, not just financially, but I need you guys actively sharing this stuff, sharing the links, sharing everything, sharing the shows, sharing all this kind of stuff that we're putting out. So please, guys, if you could do me a huge favor, if you're not going to hang around, please share this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell notification and toggle on the all selection. But if you would like to support me, you can drop a donation on my website. The link is in the description below. I have a trip coming up to Minneapolis, Minnesota. I have a trip coming up possibly in California. I have a trip coming up in Tucson. I have a trip coming up again in Yuma, in Texas as well with the border. So guys, all of these proceeds, if you love what I do and you want to support me, this goes to my flights, my hotels, when I'm traveling and I'm eating, my livelihood. I don't have a multi-million-dollar budget. Can you tell? Look at my background, okay? So I really need you guys' support, and I truly appreciate all the support. But if you'd like to drop a one-time donation to assist us on our trips, you can do so. The link is in the description below on my website, PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, all that good stuff. Or just drop a super chat below. All the proceeds go to the DH Alliance. We are a team. We are a family. We are all in this together. And I thank all of you that are supporting me monthly. It means more than you know. So I think we have some super chats, right? We're going to get to them in about 2 seconds. 1, 2. Okay, I lied because my computer's being slow. Okay, 3. There it is. All right, well, let's get to these super chats right now. Okay, we have a super chat here from Carolyn Butron. Carolyn Butron. Carolyn Butron, we salute you. Thank you, Carolyn, for the $20 super chat. Carolyn says, God bless you and your wife, Drew. My wife says, thank you. No, God bless you, Carolyn. The blessing goes right back to you. We truly appreciate your support, because without you guys, we can't do this stuff. It's really hard, man, especially in media, just keeping up with corporations that have millions of dollars. I mean, some of these people can get to these places like overnight. So, I mean, I really do appreciate your guys' support. And thank you. Thank you for the blessing. May God bless you as well, because without him, Jesus said, we can do what? Nothing. So we depend on him and him alone. So we have another super chat from Nocturnal Cahoon, right? Cajun Cahoon. I'm sorry, I'm messing up tonight. We have another super chat from Nocturnal, a $3 super sticker with the thumbs up. Nocturnal, thumbs up to you. Thank you so much for the support. We have another super chat from Marcos Rios, a $5 super chat from Marcos Rios. We salute you. Marcos says, hello from El Paso, Texas. Hello to you. Texas is beautiful, man. I don't think I've been to El Paso yet. I've been to Dallas. I have been to Austin. Where else have I been? I think that's all I've been in Texas. I want to visit El Paso. Obviously, I've been to McAllen and other places in Texas as well. But I love Texas, man. And you know, I think it's sad because honestly, I mean, you go to places like Austin, even I think some places in Dallas, and it's not looking good, man. I know a lot of people say, don't California my Texas, but I think it might be happening. I don't know. I could be wrong. I hope it doesn't happen. I hope Texas is like, I've always said this, Texas is like the last frontier, man, in the United States of America. So stand strong, Texas. Don't let them turn you blue. I'm telling you, man, do not get California. That is the worst thing that could happen to that state right now. We have another super chat from Sonia Peterson Shepherd. We have another super chat from Sonia Peterson Shepherd. Sonia, another frequent supporter of mine. Thank you. We salute you for the $5 super chat. Sonia says, shared, like, and loved your show. Be safe. Thank you so much, Sonia, for sharing, liking, and loving this show. Guys, like I said, man, follow Sonia's example. She's a major supporter of mine. Not only is it good to just like these videos, but like she said, share the videos, man. DH Alliance, I need you guys. Get this stuff out because people need to hear this. Obviously, YouTube is deboosting this channel. I struggle to get 2,000 views when I have 52,000 subscribers. Do the math. It makes no sense. YouTube definitely hates us. I think that's clear by now. So thank you guys very much for the support. Sonia, I truly, truly do appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. We have another super chat from Jay Slatum. $5 super chat from Jay Slatum. We salute you, Jay Slatum. Jay says, right now it's been dry and windy in the area for weeks. They just issued a burn ban, but these morons are lighting fires. Huge wildfires last fall. I'm assuming you're talking about Portland, possibly. The thing about Portland is it's the leadership, man. Because if you have strong leadership, you can get stuff done quickly. You could get this mopped up quick. Call in the National Guard, actually let them do their jobs. Don't just do it just to show face in order for moderates to actually think you're doing something. That's what these politicians do, especially these Democrats. Ted Wheeler in Portland is not far left enough. Antifa hates that guy, but he still does things to try and peddle to the moderates in the state that keep voting for him. And I'll also say this too, not all, but some of these locals in Portland actually support Antifa. That's part of the problem too. A lot of these people actually support them and think that their cause is justified. So that's another reason why Ted Wheeler won't condemn them, because people in these communities, not all, people in these communities actually support their actions and what they're doing. And it's just ridiculous. So we have another super chat here right now. Let me refresh this real quick. Okay, we have another super chat from Unpopular. We salute you, Unpopular. Like I said, if you guys want to donate not on YouTube, you can donate directly on my website. The link is in the description below, drewhlive.com. It goes directly to my trips coming up. PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, all that good stuff. If you guys want to write a comment, I'll read it live on air right now as well, because some people don't like doing YouTube. So just want to make sure that you guys know that option is out there. Unpopular, we salute you for the $10 super chat. Unpopular says, I made a massive online game as a kid, stolen by child predators. They slandered the truth tellers and good people, fired, banned, robbed them, recruited trolls, pirates, and liars. They label us crazy. Yeah, man, I think that happens a lot in life. I mean, here's the thing. It's like, there are people that deny reality, right? There are people that deny evil exists. There are people that are just passive in life, and they want to act like these things aren't going to come knocking on your door in reality. So, I mean, when you encounter this, whether you're young, whether you're middle-aged, whether you're old, it's not good to be naive and think that the world isn't evil out there. You have to understand that there are people out there that don't like you, that hate you for what you stand for, especially if you're a Christian, especially if you're a conservative, especially if you're an American right now. So I think right now we have to just be ready and prepared for people not to accept us, and be ready and prepared for people to literally hate us, because that's what's happening even at the mainstream level. After January 6th, you literally had people on CNN, hosts, calling literally for Trump supporters to be thrown in re-education camps. So I mean, these things are taking place, and these things are happening, man, and it's not getting any better. So we have another super chat from Oh My God Jimmy Boy. We have a $10 super chat. We salute you. Oh My God Jimmy Boy says, we do not need police reform. Sorry, Jimmy Boy, I disagree with you. I think we do. We used to get thousands of murders a year in the 80s and 90s in the major cities. It is only because of BLM murders are increasing. I mean, I don't agree with the statement that we do not need police reform, because I think that's kind of foolish to say. Not a disrespect to you. But everything needs to be reformed. When I say we need reform, is we can only make things better with reform. Anytime you reform something, it's only going to get better. There are systems that get old, that are aged, that don't keep up with the times. And I think right now, I probably sound like a leftist right now, but I'm just being honest. I have the view that everything needs to be reformed, especially after a decade, when there could be things that are outdated to make things better. So thank you for the super chat, but I just got to keep it 100, and I disagree with you. So we have another super chat. We have a donation on Cash App from Lola X20, $10 donation from Lola X20. Thank you, Lola. Lola says, keep it up. With a $10 donation. Keep it up with a heart and praying emoji. Thank you so much for the love, Lola. Thank you so much for the frequent donations. And thank you so much for the prayers. We truly, truly do need them. And we truly, truly do appreciate them 100%. I hope you guys understand that from the bottom of my heart. Because we need this support, especially right now. So thank you guys, every single one of you guys that are supporting, especially the DH Alliance out there, man. All of the monthly members that support me. Want to give a shout out to you guys right now. I want to say thank you guys for your monthly support on this channel, or even on Patreon as well. We are actually reforming, no pun intended, by the way, we're actually reforming my Patreon as well. So right now, if you are a Patreon supporter of mine, be on the lookout for a message probably sometime next week. You're going to have to reselect a tier on my Patreon once it's ready and out to go, because you might be having donations come to me monthly right now, but we actually had to revamp Patreon. Patreon doesn't let us change it. We actually have to do it over, and you yourself have to select a new tier all over again. So be on the lookout. For that coming from me from an email in your email box very, very, very soon. I would appreciate that, guys, very, very much. So like I said, if you guys would like to support me, you can drop a super chat below, or you can donate directly to my website. The link is in the description below. We have some trips coming up to Minneapolis. We have some trips coming up to the southern border, Tucson. We have some trips coming up to Yuma, southern Texas. A lot of good stuff coming up, man. And we really need your help because I cannot get there by myself. This stuff is extremely expensive. And I hope that I've proved myself to you guys thus far, because every time I go out, I think we're actually breaking some serious news. We go viral, and I get invited to be on news to get on and talk about it. So that is how this system works. Whenever you guys support me to go out, we have the ability to go on the news and speak the truth. And until I get kicked off of there, I'm going to continue to be on here as I'm deboosted. You could tell in this episode alone, we're barely able to get 1,000 views. And we have 52,000 subscribers. So we are 100% deboosted on this channel. So I thank you guys very much for the support. And like I said, if you guys can share this video far and wide, wherever you can post a link on your Gab, on your Parler, on your Twitter, on your Facebook, wherever a link could be posted, share this link wherever you can. Subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button. Let's get to 500 likes. And also hit the bell notification and toggle on the all selection, guys. I truly, truly do appreciate it, guys. And also, we do this show Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So always remember those times. That is when I go live. We do this show live every single day, Monday through Friday, unless I'm traveling. If I'm traveling, I think I'm going to let you guys know in the community section, or check my Twitter. I'll let you guys know if we're not going to do a show because I'm traveling, because I'm reporting. Sometimes we do that. So I love you guys very much. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. Thank you guys for the support. And until next time, America, stay free.